Welcome to Technology and Education Today. I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford, and we are coming to you from the University of Houston Clear Lake in Houston, Texas, USA.
Where we are engaged in a discussion on multitasking, one of my favorite topics.
One of your favorite topics, really?
Yeah, because all the time I hear teachers say, oh, I encourage my students to multitask, and I hear students say, I do best when I multitask. And somehow I suspect that's not correct.
I can't do it. Until I get in the flow of something, I'm not very good. I can't think through the whole idea, the concept of whatever it is I'm focusing on.
Well, to me, the idea
Especially new knowledge.
Yes. The idea of studying better when you're doing more than one thing at a time, more than just studying, seems to me to detract from the idea of studying or from learning or from the ability to learn.
Well, I kind of see, how I love going back to Bloom's taxonomy from the knowledge level all the way up to the higher order thinking skills. I think about it as lower order thinking skills, knowledge level and such. You need to focus on that information because obviously this is new knowledge for you. You need to be able to frame it within Vygotsky's whole conceptual framework of understanding. Frame it appropriately and understand what you're trying to learn so that when you get into the higher order thinking skills, the creativity and such, the analysis and creativity stages, you know what you're talking about, and then you can be a little more distracted. You can multitask a little bit because the undergirding, you already have the knowledge base, and you're able to think more creatively about the topic.
But you're talking about multitasking in where people do things within the same area. The problem that I see with...
Well, like I create different ideas while I'm out gardening or mowing the lawn or something.
Yes, but that's not the intentional act of studying. When somebody studies...
you're supposed to be focused upon the information.
In my opinion, and fortunately in the opinion of a lot of researchers, you need to be focused on the area that you are studying, so that
you're trying to learn the subject matter.
So that if you're reading something, and you read for 5 minutes, and then you go to your Facebook page and check and see how your friends are doing,
or someone is constantly texting you, or your favorite movie, your favorite sitcom is on television, something like that.
It doesn't work.
Right. Well, you're thinking more about the other things than you are about the information you're trying to learn and perceive within a set knowledge base.
And not only that, it's not really multitasking, because to multitask you would be doing several tasks simultaneously. True. And really what tends to happen is that people do many tasks in rapid sequence. It's one task after another, then going back to the original task.
Sounds more like disassociation. You're removing yourself from whatever information it is you're actually thinking about and focusing on something else for the moment.
Right. So once that happens, your brain gets a little distracted, and you can't really concentrate on doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's
sometimes that's not a bad thing. If you read an email that upsets you, that angers you, it's better to walk away and disassociate, get the whole dissonance thing going, so that you don't respond in a negative fashion.
That's responding to emails, but if you are studying and you're checking your email and you find an email that upsets you, now you've got the entire sequence of events of studying out the door or out the window.
But it seems to be a difference between learning new information, which is the process of studying, one would imagine, and thinking about things in a more analytic, creative manner once you already know the basic knowledge base. Once you already know that information, and it framed it.
Well, once you have that basic knowledge, you can explore in other areas, which is, I don't know if that's multitasking, but you're broadening your sphere. You know where it really becomes glaring about multitasking?
When you're trying to read someone's paper that they wrote and it's so obvious that they can't keep their thought process moving in a flow fashion?
No.
Oh? Well, that's where I usually find, what in the world are they talking about?
Yes, you're right. They get these papers that are really kind of disjointed. But the really glaring part is when people are driving and they're texting when they're driving.
Yes.
And they say, oh, I can do this because I can multitask. Well, first thing that you spot, whether they're texting or if they're speaking on a phone,
Swerving, not going the speed limit,
right, the first, yes, they're going
being dangerous towards other people
they're
on
going
the road,
slower,
which is dangerous.
they're
as
going
anything.
slower than everybody else, they're swerving, they're not really functioning 100% as a driver, yet they'll tell you that they can multitask. So that
That's
becomes
cute,
really,
but not when my life is on the line.
it becomes really obvious at that point. The other thing is juggling. Anybody, or most anybody, can catch one ball, toss it up and down, juggle one ball. Give them two balls, give the person two balls, and a lot of people can juggle two balls, not all that well. Throw three balls in there, very few people can do that. Juggling three balls. That's
Nice
multitasking.
parallel.
But that's multitasking. It's a reason it doesn't work. It's very difficult to concentrate. The more things that you have to concentrate on, the more difficult it is to accomplish your goals.
That's true. Even when my honey brought home a little puppy dog, and now it's so hard for me to work at home because the puppy dog wants all of my attention, and I have to constantly stop and think about why the dog is trying to ruin my leather chair.
Yes, yes. I think you should write that up as a journal article. How the puppy dog ruined my academic career. I think that would really work, really work.
Well, the more things that you have to take care of takes your mind away
Yes,
from the true
and
purpose
that is
of
true.
your efforts.
And the other interesting thing is that teachers, at least at the high school level, and I guess at the college level also, will often yield to students' requests to be allowed to do several things at once. In other words, they want to listen to music while they study with headphones on. They want to be able to check their email. They'll say, well, I can check my email while you're teaching, or I can do this, that, and the other thing. And the problem with that is that the research indicates that students in general many times make the wrong decisions as far as their study habits are concerned. They make the wrong choices.
I can't say anything about that. I happen to agree with that statement.
Well, good. Thank you very much. Well, I think we've hit all the major reasons that the actual systematic use of multitasking in a classroom is probably not the best thing that a teacher could do or advocate.
I can't do it. I don't understand how other people can do it successfully.
Yes, and it's certainly a bad choice on the part of students because it pulls away from their attention from what they need to be doing, and it gives them an excuse for doing several things other than what they need to be doing, which is studying.
Which takes a longer time period. People whine about, oh, it's so much work. Well, if you'd actually study during a certain period of time instead of doing 5 other things, which is taking time away from the actual task at hand, learning the information, then maybe it wouldn't take you such a long time. Maybe if you weren't listening to whatever kind of music you listen to, or watching television while you're trying to learn your vocabulary words, or reading a textbook, or whatever it happens to be. Little details.
Little details.
Making dinner.
Making dinner. And one more detail, we have come to the end of this edition of Technology and Education Today. I'm Richard Smith.
And I'm Caroline Crawford, and again we are coming to you from the University of Houston Clear Lake in Houston, Texas, USA. Bye!